guys, what I'm going to do today is a bit of hoovering out and a clean up. There is a basket down there that I want to fetch out. They've pulled the plant out of it, so I want to whip the basket out because they're chucking that gravel everywhere. It is the small stuff actually, so I want that out anyway. That lily that side isn't coming too well, but I've got to move it because it is near moving water and lilies don't like a lot of moving water. So it'll be just get the hoover out and give it a quick whip round. There is a bit of mess down the deep end as well I want to fetch out, so I shall get that done as well. The lilies are coming quite well considering. They're flowering nicely, or starting to. That one is always early with flowering. It's always a good lily. Comes up quite early with lots of leaves, and the one behind it is now starting to send leaves up, so I'm quite pleased about that. But I'll get the hoover out and we'll get started. Okay guys, we're all set up. The hoover's all set up, ready to go. I've got the long extension on it at the minute. The end that I use there, which I like best actually, I pinched it off the wife's hoover. It's got a nice little brush on the end of it, and that's what I use more than anything really. And it came off the wife's hoover, so don't tell her. But I did pinch it off the end of that and adapted it to fit the pond vac, and it works quite well actually. But we're all set up. Get all this gravel out. There's a load of gravel down there, so I want to get all that out. I've got the plant pot out, so now I'm going to get that out and then just give it a quick hoover round. I am going to be topping it up with tap water, so what I'm going to do is give it a dose of this first, just to make sure we're safe. So I shall give it some of this before we start. Well guys, this is going to test the filter system. Well cloudy, can't see anything in there. I've been round with the brush as well. I've had the long brush in and I've gone round with that as well, really stirred it up. So this is really putting the filter system to the test. It is obviously firing off a lot more regular as it's clearing this dirt, but it's got quite a way to go. Well guys, the RDF is firing off about every 10 minutes at the moment because of the dirt that's actually coming out the pond. Let's just put a light on, you probably see more. Yeah, it's going off about every 10 minutes, but it is pulling some dirt out. Here it goes again. You'll see the dirt that's coming out the pond. This is what it's bringing up. But you can see what it's actually catching in the bucket, and that's black. So it's doing its job. Obviously it is going off a lot more often with the dirt that's coming up, so it basically adjusts itself to cope with whatever's coming up from the pond. If your water's nice and clean and clear, it doesn't go off much at all, but if you get a load of dirt come up, it does clear itself. It's a magic idea. I love it. Well guys, I did the pond about 2:30, and it's now 6 o'clock at night, and it's just nicely starting to clear up. Still a little bit cloudy obviously. It did get some stick. There is a bit of glare on the pond, so I'm not quite sure whether you'll see it, but it is clearing up nicely. The filter was triggering every 5 minutes at one point. It was sucking that much dirt and algae in, but it seems to have cleared up now. It's got the boss of it, it's dropped back. It's triggering about once every 3/4 of an hour. It'll drop back even more as it clears the pond. Okay guys, what I want to do now is a scrape on one of my fish. If you noticed in the last video, I did notice one of them flicked. So just to make sure nothing untoward's going on, I'm going to do a scrape on one of them. A good sample. Okay guys, now this is the microscope that I'll be using. I've got my 20 times lens in the top. Actually in the top there you'll see it's a bit of a bodge, but it does actually work. I found a little camera and I've just made up with a piece of tube and a piece of wood to hold it. I've just made up a camera so we can actually see it on the computer screen. I shall be using the medium of the lenses down the bottom, the middle one. I think that's 10 times, I'm not sure, but it's the medium lens. And then we should start out and then start by lowering into the slide once you get the slide in there. Lowering down to it and we'll see what we can find. Okay, when you first put your slide in, chances are it's going to be blurred like that. So if you slowly start to go into the slide, now the first thing you'll see, all them bits, that is the top of the glass. That's what's on the actual glass itself. So you've got to go through that glass, so you keep going in and going in till you get to the middle of the two pieces of glass. Nice and gently just keep going in, further in. Now you're going through the glass and now you come to your sample. This is what's between the two glasses. If you went further you would see the other side of the second piece of glass, the underside of the glass. But that's where you want to be. That's the focus on your slime coat. And then from there you can move it up and down or side to side, whichever way you want. Start on the edge of your sample. If we can find the edge somewhere here, and then you go fully across, and once you get to the other side you go a width of the screen down and then go back the other way until you've got all the way across to that side. And once you're at that side you go down again, just like cutting the lawn really, in a similar sort of pattern, and then you go back again across to the other side. We're coming off the slide here, so it's gone a bit there's nothing to detect. There we go, that's back on the slime coat. Well guys, I'm just looking over this slide that I've just taken, the scrape from the koi, and I'm not sort of really finding anything much on it at all. Going across, there's nothing. That's a load of debris or dirt, microscopic dirt. Any movement you see there, don't know whether you can see this moving up here and moving down there, that is actually water. That is the water in the scrape. I did get a lot of water in it actually. He flicked his tail just as I was about to put the slides together and the slide got even wetter. So there's quite a bit of water in this. You can actually see that moving, but there's nothing in it. I'm not sort of finding anything, which is good news for me really, but I'm not going to be able to show you anything. From this you can see that movement on that water there. That's just water. If you get something like that, it's just a bubble. That's a bubble trapped in the glass. Not a lot to report, I'm afraid, from that scrape. Thought we might have found something. I mean, if you find just one fluke or something like that, it doesn't mean that you've got an epidemic. They do carry out the odd fluke about. But no, nothing much there at all, I'm afraid. Come down the bottom here, this is near the edge of the slide. That's along the edge. Nothing untoward, so good news really. Unfortunately for you, there's nothing I can show you. But that's how you do it basically. And like I say, we can't really seem to find anything. But that's good on from my point of view. Well, as you can see, the new mesh has come. So I'm going to have a go at fitting it today. We'll get the old mesh out and the new in and see how we go. I have to say I probably was a little bit hasty. The mesh that I've got in, I have to say, is going really well now. I might have been a little bit quick to act on the finer mesh, but now I've got it, I'm going to give it a try and we'll see how it goes. Well, there it is guys. Just got it unwrapped. It does come very well packed. So now let's get it fitted. There you go guys, you can probably see better now that I've turned the pumps off. It's lovely and clear, lovely clear water. See right down to the bottom. Like I say, there is a bit of glare on the pond, so I'm not quite sure what you'll see. But yeah, no complaints about the water in there. So whether I've done the right thing with this mesh or not, I don't know. But we're going to give it a go. Okay guys, I've got the new mesh on. So now it's just a matter of seeing how that performs. Like I say, I think I was a bit premature with this. I don't know as I needed it, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. At least it'll put my mind at rest. I mean, the other mesh was doing a really good job. So if this is any better, which I don't see how it can be, Jesus. But yeah, we'll give it a go. At least I'll know. Put my mind at rest. Well guys, it's now been 24 hours since the new mesh was fitted, and I have to say, what a fantastic difference it's made. This system, I couldn't wish for it to work any better. It is absolutely unbelievable. That's the clarity of the water coming in. Let's go take a look at the pond just to show you. In 24 hours, now there is a little bit of wind, so I hope it doesn't interfere too much. But this is the pond. It is at night, it's night time-ish, so, but I mean, wow, that is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I hope you can see it. That water is absolutely crystal. Let's just take a look down the deeper end. This is down the deep end. That water is magic, absolutely magic. See absolutely everything in there. I can't believe it. Unbelievable. Absolutely crystal clear. And this is in 24 hours. That water is awesome. That new mesh is absolutely unbelievable. You can see absolutely everything in there. I hope you guys can see this. And there's no sun, no sunshine. It's about 6 o'clock at night now, 6:30. Like I say, there is a little bit of wind. I couldn't do any videoing today because of the wind. But absolutely, oh, tremendous. Okay guys, it boils down to the cost. What does it cost to build this? Well, there are things like the nozzles, the mesh, your stainless steel Jubilee clips. There's things like that what you just can't save money on. You've got to have them and that's it. But there's so much you could actually save money on when building this thing. It's like your wiper motor, for instance. You could even get one of these from a scrapyard for a couple of quid, I would suppose. That'd come a lot cheaper. The wood I used was best ply. There's no need to use best ply. That was £40 for a sheet. You can get a lot cheaper ply. There's so many things like that that you can save money on. The whole total cost of building the whole thing, and I have bought everything. I've bought everything new. The total cost was about £550, but that's with me buying absolutely everything. What I made the drum of, I mean, I paid a lot of money for it. You can get them at less than half of what I paid. They come a lot cheaper. So many things like that that you can actually save money on. But £550, we've got a 22-inch by 450mm drum, which if you look at that size of RDF to buy is about £3,200 to £3,500. So we've not done bad really. I mean, the top's optional, you can either have that or not, whatever. I didn't include that when I was doing the price because, like I say, it's optional. If you wanted to plywood the top instead of the perspex, I've done it perspex, which was quite expensive. You can just plywood the top, which would be a lot cheaper, and that sort of thing really. It's just a lot of stuff in building this you can cut back on. The paint is so expensive, but I dare say that you will be able to find a lot cheaper paint. But you do want proper acrylic pond paint. There's got to be cheaper out there, but I was told that this was the best stuff, so that's what I bought. It's scandalous the price of it, but there you go, you got to have it. Or I thought I'd got to have it anyway. I just wanted to use the best. But like I say, there's so many things you can actually cut back on. It's untrue. I use the best sealer, which is quite expensive. You needn't use the best stuff. You can use cheaper, but that's what it works out at, about between 500 and 550 pounds, and that's with buying absolutely everything off the shelf, all brand new. I did change the mesh. That mesh is absolutely awesome. There's one of the jets, if you can see that end, I've just got to adjust one of the jets. It's not quite hitting that right, but the rest of it, it's brilliant. It's absolutely awesome, this stuff. I couldn't believe at the difference it's made. I mean, the dirt in the bucket is a lot more dense than it ever was with the other mesh. That is just solid dirt in there now. I can't take you out and show you the pond now because it's that windy, it'd blow your head off and you wouldn't hear a thing I was saying anyway. But absolutely awesome. This mesh is absolutely brilliant. I love it. I think I've just about got this system where I want it now. Performance is superb. Okay guys, I'm going to try to get a quick bit of video while the wind's just calmed down a little bit. It is actually 6:30 nearly at night. The wind's been absolutely horrendous here today. I'm not quite sure what you'll see. We're still getting some wind, but that is absolutely pristine, that water, with this new mesh. Absolutely. I'm really chuffed with it. It's crystal clear. You can't get a lot better quality than that. I hope you can see it's really dull and cloudy. There's a lot of glare on the water at the moment, but we can see every speck in the bottom of the pond, see absolutely everything. I'm really pleased with it. Well guys, it's now 9:05, windy, wet, horrible and cloudy. So as always, if you can hear what I'm saying, do take care. Thanks for watching and happy ponding.